Well, good morning, my friends. It's your old pal Jordan the Lion. How are you all doing today? Excellent. I hope you said well, because I'm doing well. Last night I decided to drive out to Las Vegas, Nevada to hang out with my pal Eric Singer, but actually it was because today Bruce Kulick and his wife Lisa LANE-KULICK are coming over. Lisa made me some art, and it was inspired by, well, she's been doing it for a while, but it's something I saw while I was in Memphis, Tennessee that really made me want this. So she's gonna come over today, bring me art, talk about it, and kind of share some of the stuff that she's trying to do with it. So I hope you guys enjoy this vlog. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now, and just as a little teaser, let me show you a gift that she made for Eric, kind of what she is going to be giving me. Not of Eric, but in this same style. Check it out. Lots of hummingbird activity here. Well, if you take a look at this framed picture of Eric here, you notice that in the detail there is actual glitter and jewels into this picture. Now, while I was at the Graceland guest house, I was walking around vlogging that for all of you, and we noticed that a lot of their Elvis art that lines the walls is done in this same fashion. So she did some Elvis pictures for me she'll be bringing by. This is actually a gift for Eric's mom. So the way that I knew Lisa was doing Elvis portraits of this style was that Eric was already having this one made. And when I saw this, I said, I want one exactly like that. Now, he had her change it from the way she normally does it, and he had her put the blue here to accent one of the rooms he's gonna have it in. And you can see here, he's had it framed and matted. It looks great. She's gonna be bringing me one just like this, but a couple others. All right, my friends, today we have Bruce Kulick and Lisa LANE-KULICK, and this is the first time I've actually met you two. What is life like with the pandemic going on? Bruce, you're normally out on tour with Grand Funk, and I mean, what has life been like? How has it changed for you?
Well, certainly the traveling is not happening. Those live shows, I was doing like 40, 50 gigs with Grand Funk, and then add that to all the other things related to my Kiss years and all. They came to a halt in the sense of those traveling live performances. But I've embraced the internet, and I've been as creative as I can be. A lot of, I've made the home kind of my stage.
Yeah.
In fact, because Lisa has sang, we've always offered the fans like Christmas songs and performances. Now it became much more, and I think you were aware of that.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful. And everything has been switched to just like, what can I do from my home to engage with the fans? I've increased a lot of my social media quite a bit. And we have a lot of fun with it, even though it's really work,
Absolutely.
And they respond, so that's great. So there's more things that they like to engage with us, and they'll visit my store on my website.
Yeah, you'll probably get more fans out of this, actually.
In a way, the brand is increasing because I'm engaging them, okay? But I do really miss, of course, the live performing and that connection. But for now, this is what I got to do. There's a lot of cameos, which are shout-outs for people.
Yeah.
Giving guitar lessons. Lisa's my video director and usually videoing me. And in fact, when we do record content, like what you do so well,
yeah,
she's usually editing it all now in iMovie. I've pushed her into that, which is pretty exciting, but it's a whole nother level. I mean, a neighbor gave us some lights, so we've experimented with that, and I got the newer phone. Maybe not as fancy as your camera, but I'm just so proud that the connection with my wife has been really big too online. And we've gotten the chance, of course, to share not only her musical talent, but also her art talent, which is really great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not only is she helping you to run everything you do online, but she's out there making amazing art. Now, I already kind of prefaced this with everyone back to when I was at Graceland a couple weeks ago and admiring all that art on the wall. And then I come here to visit Eric, and he's showing me that you're working on something exactly like what I wanted. So I said, you gotta hook me up with Lisa. So you actually made me some really amazing art. You're gonna show me what it starts out as, how much time you put into it to do each one, and where people can find it, because even though you made Elvis for me, you actually do old Hollywood, you do pretty much the whole history of Kiss, Bruce's history. So what inspired you to start this? Where did this come from?
Well, I would say going back maybe 3 years now, I used to have this t-shirt that I completely wore out. It was a Marilyn Monroe t-shirt, and I'll show you the picture a little later where it came from. But it had gems on it. It was one of my very favorite, and the gems started falling off. And the more I washed it, it started falling apart. I thought, I wonder if I could add gems to a poster size to just I don't know what the word would be, but to make it look just like my t-shirt. So I went ahead and bought a poster, and I made it look exactly like the t-shirt, and we hung it up, and I really enjoyed doing it, putting the gems on, and then I started adding some glitter to different things and stepping out and trying all different kind of Hollywood posters and photos, 8x10s.
Can I ask who you started with? What was the first image you took on?
Well, outside of Marilyn Monroe, the second one was Judy Garland, which I did bring here today so we can show that to you as well.
Fantastic.
And it just became an involved sort of thing, and more of a hobby to begin with, and then it became a tiny little business that's been growing every day organically. So
well, when you're
really
good, you become in demand, right? Now this was kind of a custom one. I showed you guys Eric's earlier, where his is all framed and matted and everything. Now normally she doesn't do the blue right here along the lining of the suit. That was something Eric wanted. When I saw it, I had to have it too. So if you decide to get one of these made, that's the Eric Singer style order that you can get. But look at the detail. I mean, look, you can actually see all the little wrinkles in his jacket and everything through this glitter and through the gemstones that she uses. So she actually made me 3 different styles, but 2 of the same one in different sizes. So these are 20 by 30, and she said these are the biggest that she's taken on. That was the biggest challenge, so I think they look amazing. Now that one's kind of a personal favorite. E in all of his glory. And then look at the detail right here on the creases and the wrinkles of his pants. Isn't that amazing? And then Aloha from Hawaii. Wow. Now this is an 11 by 17, and you can tell that the detail on the smaller ones is just as amazing as the bigger ones, but why not go big if you can? Look at the necklace and everything on his costume. So here you can see in the black and white right there, that's what she starts with. That's the original. And that's the same size I got here. And then that is what it turns into. So Lisa, that's amazing. How long did that take to do that 20 by 30 Elvis in gold with all that detail?
Well, again, I just do it in certain, 2 to 3 hour spurts, because if I sat there did too long, I would be exhausted. So I would say really committing to getting this done about 5 days of work. And
Really?
as you'll see, here's the before. And what's interesting about this particular one, this was a custom order that I got where they just sent me a picture off the internet. And when I went ahead and made it a bigger size, I was concerned that it was lacking in clarity. But he said, just move forward, just do it anyway, I want to see what happens. And I found that even if it's not a pristine copy of a photo, that sometimes when it's a little bit more distressed or a tiny bit more pixelated, it gives me a little bit more of a creative flow. So as you can see, even the highlighting and everything in this particular black and white one, going and putting the gold in there and adding different colors of gold just gives it a lot of texture. And gold Elvis is obviously what I call it. And this one's really taken off. I just think it's stunning. When I get done with one, I can't stop looking at it. It's so pretty.
That is so cool. Now, I thought actually when I saw these, I said, there's no way she's going to be able to top this. And then I saw some of the things you did of Kiss. And then I saw your old Hollywood. So let's take a look at the Kiss ones first.
All right.
So right away, take a look at this Paul Stanley. Wow, how long did this take, Lisa?
That one, I probably did that one in about 3 days.
That's really good.
A day of panting.
Wow, that's incredible. And then everyone always asks about Eric Carr. You have went above and beyond with an Eric Carr tribute here, where you actually put the fur. And how long did this take?
Well, that one doesn't take as long. I probably did that one in maybe a day and a half. These were done for Eric's 70th birthday in July. I wanted to do something as a tribute for him and just show them on social media. So there were actually 3, and one of them sold right away, which was a non-makeup version of Eric Carr. But I really think that the fur collar is an interesting addition to it, and you can see the before, which I didn't even realize I brought over
right
me
there
today, so that you can see that even though it's a color photo, what can be done to bring it.
And let's look at the eyes. The eyes are really great. You really bring the eyes to life.
And Lisa gifted Eric's sister Loretta one of the first one you ever did, I believe.
That's right, I did.
You wanted to give her one.
That's so sweet.
That was a year ago, yeah, and she loves it.
For her birthday in January.
And always one of the most difficult things, but I know that you are going to do a great job with this, is someone sharing it online. Because when they take a photo, just the 3-dimensional elements that she creates that really your eye just picks up immediately, but a camera struggles much more with. People they can't really fathom it, and everyone's reaction is always...
Every time I get a review coming back, they always say, it's much better even in person.
Of course.
I felt the same way.
Yep.
As soon as I saw it, I was blown away.
Mm-hmm. So that one was taken in 1984, that photo. And it was my first few months in being in the band. And a guy who took photos back then, who's now a pilot, he was desperate to just share his work because apparently he was one of the lucky few in the pit to take up-close photos of bands like Kiss and Motley Crue. So I was very, of course, welcome to see his work. And I found that picture and I was like, oh, it's all me, the big Kiss sign, and my arm is up in the air like I'm having the time of my life. So we call it Arm Up. And recently that's a 35th anniversary last year of me being on that stage, Now, it was selling really well on my website, and then all of a sudden Lisa just said, maybe I can fool around with a few of your photos. And hence she, certainly put her take on it with glitter and everything and the stones.
I thought it was fun to do all the different colors on the Kiss sign, because traditionally it's lit up in lights or maybe a few colors, but just adding all of the different colored gems that I have, it was really a fun thing to do, and the fans love it.
Yeah, it's a fun era of Kiss too.
Mm-hmm.
And then because it's such a personal thing from the, photo of me, her artwork, we offer it, I sign it, why not? I'm so proud of it.
Of course.
Some people ask for Lisa to sign it as well.
So Lisa, people are interested, just before we move on, where can they find your Etsy shop?
My Etsy shop is called LVG Creations Art. So if you put in LVG Creations Art, it'll come up. It actually stands for Lisa's Vintage Glamour Creations, which is what I call this. To start with, it's called Bling Out the Beauty. But I also find most people find me just by Googling Lisa LANE-KULICK Art, and the Etsy link will come right up, and you just click on it, and it'll take you there. There's many of these, not all of them, and then some that I didn't have with me, more Kiss, more old Hollywood. So
now you have an interesting Kiss one here that we were looking at. You said this was kind of like your first take. Tell me the story on that, if you don't mind.
Sure, yeah. When I first started doing this, my dream was to take these old Hollywood starlets with the beautiful, beautiful gowns. And then imagine, it's a black and white photo. Now I know people are colorizing them so you can see what they were wearing and what the colors were. But I thought, let me just add glitter and gems and rhinestones and bring it to life. So I called Bling Out the Beauty. And as I was doing that, Bruce said, you know, hey, you know, those asylum outfits from back in the early 80s, the, you know, 85, 86, those costumes were so crazy with all the rhinestones and glitter and everything. So I went ahead and found an asylum photo. And it was one of my very first Kiss ones that I did. And that one, he put it up on social media. Yeah. And from then on, mainly my clients are all Kiss fans.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet it'll change after this vlog.
Yeah.
What you're going to show us next is probably what people that watch me the most will come after you for. So let's move on to some of that. Let's see some Marilyn Monroe first.
Yeah.
All right, take a look at this collection. I'm going to get up close and personal with these, but she kind of blended a little bit of all the styles that we've seen. We've seen fur, we've seen the glitter, we've seen the jewels, the stones, everything. We're gonna see a lot of that in here for you old Hollywood fans. Take a look at this one first. The lovely Marilyn Monroe right there. And look at how detailed she got with all the jewels on Marilyn and in her hands. And take a look at that one. You can see she went subtle here, a little bit of the lipstick, a little eyeshadow, and her jewelry.
And dimple.
Yeah, oh yeah, a little dimple, you're right.
It's called a beauty mark.
Okay, that's me.
Look at her dress.
And that was the first one that I was describing that was on the t-shirt that I had.
You did a great job with that, Lisa. Wow. Look at those two together. Then look at this. Now look at Judy Garland. This is incredible. She did a little feather down here, part of her costume, her dress here. And then look at all the detail on the lips, on her nails, on her dress. How long did that take, Lisa?
That one I did in one afternoon.
And what size is that?
That one is I think it's 18 by 12, I think.
So how small can you do and how large can you do of these?
8 by 10 is as small as I would go. I don't always recommend that size just because the landscape isn't big enough to really give the detail that these deserve. 11 by 14 I think is the most economical, and if you don't have a lot of space on your wall, 11 by 14 works perfect, which is what you're looking at right now for the premiere photo with Bogey and McCall and Marilyn, of course. And then 16 by 20 is the biggest I usually go, just because to ship it economically, you know, you definitely want something not too huge for shipping, and it lends itself to gems.
I was the special exception then.
You were the special exception.
All right.
And believe me, if you really do want a 20 by 30, it can be done now that I've done it for Jordan. So
you're welcome, everyone.
I love doing it because it did give me plenty of space to really make the gems come alive, and a lot of glitter too.
Then you gotta love this. This is old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra. She did, well, this is Guys and Dolls. You can see his entire hat has been done. His eyes, his suit, that memorable pinstripe suit.
A pink bow tie, honey?
It's orange, actually.
Okay.
I got a horse right here. His name is Paul Revere.
Right, it's orange.
It's orange.
Beautiful.
Thank you for him.
And then this one, I was blown away by. your Jean Harlow.
Yes,
with
very,
fur.
very young.
All that fur, the jewels. Look at her. Now, you actually brought me something you just tried out yesterday for the first time.
Yes, I did.
Let's take a look at that.
Sure.
Oh, wow. I recognize those guys.
Yes, that was something that when I knew that I was going to do this with you today, I thought, I don't have a Beatles. And my son had requested a Sgt. Pepper, and it's been sitting around waiting for me to have a moment to go ahead and do it. So I whipped it up yesterday to bring. Now, the general consensus from the group here is that maybe if the background had a little bit of sparkle to it, it might not make, their heads get lost in the background. So I think I'll add a little bit of gold or yellow glitter when I get home.
That has to be probably the most challenging picture of the Beatles you could have chosen. Those costumes, that time period. But it looks great.
It's a lot of fun. That one really doesn't lend itself to gems at all, as you could tell, but it certainly is the greatest canvas for glitter.
Yeah, that is a lot of glitter, though.
Yep.
And then you also do modern stuff. You brought a really great Gwen Stefani that we'll end with.
Sure.
Look at the inside of the tire right here even. Isn't that great? I always feel like, sometimes out of nowhere, I just randomly wanted that. And then, weeks later I met you. So I always think things are just meant to be. So thank you for allowing me to show what you do, Lisa. Do you want to promote anything? Do you want to tell people how they can find you? Bruce as well?
Well, thank you for having us on, Jordan. I really appreciate it because I'm hoping that we had a chance to really capture the magic of these photos and the artwork that I do. Again, to find me, I always say Googling is best. So just go ahead and Google Lisa LANE-KULICK, K-U-L-I-C-K, art, and Etsy will pop up, or LVG Creations, and art, again, on Etsy. And you can also email me at lvgcreations88@gmail.com.
Okay. And Bruce, would you like to promote anything? Tell people how they can contact you since you're Mr. Friendly all of a sudden?
Well, I'm very easy to find. I find it really ironic when someone actually writes me and says, like, I was trying to get a message to you or whatever. My website has everything, excuse me, including Lisa's contact.
Oh, perfect.
Information there.
My links
so,
as well.
BruceKulick.com, which is fabulous because it's the portal to all of my social media and everything. And I do feature in the shop some of her art too.
As well as your music together.
Yes. And there's a way to see the songs and visit the YouTube channel for that kind of content. So yeah, BruceKulick.com, which was ironically enough gifted by a Kiss fan to me. You know what I mean?
That's so cool.
That's right. But and I do feel in conclusion we were meant to get together.
Yeah.
I know Eric mentioned a friend coming. I didn't realize when you visited another time, you did a fabulous blog about a trip here, antique hunting and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, that Elvis trip you made.
Yeah.
That was the catalyst to bring us together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Lisa and I are really grateful, and we always see the world that way, that people sometimes connect. And we think there's some people other that we don't, not tangible, that put us together.
Right. And with what's going on now, people need new things to get into, new things to get excited about. You're creating new things, and a lot of people need new art for their walls. A lot of people have moved. A lot of people have moved out of LA to bigger places and need things to put on their walls. So thank you both for being on here. And if anyone wants these special works of art, you know where to find Bruce and Lisa.
And you can also request something custom made. It doesn't have to be what you've seen today. I can do almost anything.
Excellent. Thank you both for being on.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
So now you can see that I have everything laid out, and Eric went ahead and took his to professional framer, got his framed. But I'm gonna go the economical route, and I just went to Target and I bought a gold looking frame at least. So we'll try that. All right, I got everything framed up. Now you can go Eric's route and you can do a really good job on taking it to a framer, getting it matted, and it does look good, but sometimes that can be expensive. I've paid up over $200 for framing jobs. So for this particular one, since I was doing it for a vlog, I wanted to go with something more affordable. So I went just directly to Target. I just went like kind of what everybody could do. The bigger frames were all 25 bucks and this small one was, I think, 12. So there you go. Pretty good deal. I mean, they look pretty good. Well, what did you think, Lionhearts? Did you like that art? I love it. I think it was really cool. And Lisa and I were just talking and she came up with kind of a cool idea. Since she can pretty much do anything, we thought, hey, there's no harm in, we're gonna find a photo of me and she will make that also available. So if someone out there would like to get a glittered, glammed up, blinged out photo of John and I together, we're going to try and find one, and it'll also be on her pages available as well. All right, my friends, we're gonna call it a day. I wanna thank Eden, Chris Isabel, and Ken Sager for becoming my newest Patreons. Thank you, Lisa and Bruce Kulick. I've now met most of the surviving members of KISS. That was one more today on the list, and hope you guys enjoyed that. What a fun couple of people, and what a fun looking bunch of art to enjoy, right? Thank you everyone for watching. Go check out their sites. Go to brucekulick.com. We'll see you all next time. Have a great night, and goodbye.